A big question for Laker fans right now. Who will the team actually bring in next to complete their wing rotation? Almost every day, there's a new rumor. Some are curious, some are dreamers, and some are no longer sure what's real news and what's just social media speculation. So today, let's try to clear everything up, from the actual reports to the names that keep getting mentioned because of every conversation about the next trade, that we all know that the Lakers are actively looking for a big wing player. We've been hearing the name of a young athlete with great potential for months, a player who is sought after for his athleticism and ceiling. At the same time, the name of another high-potential player has resurfaced after being seen talking and chatting in front of multiple cameras during Summer League. It's a small detail, but to those who are paying close attention, it could mean something. But now, there's a third name floating around. A guard forward who was once on a team that reached the finals. Many are saying he's the Lakers' next target. But before we get excited or worried, we need to ask, is this real, or is this just a show put on by fans on Twitter? According to actual reports, the story isn't that simple. There was a report that clearly stated that the Lakers weren't interested in this player, given the size of his contract, around $88.8 million over the next 4 years, all guaranteed. That's a lot of weight for a team that's wary of their cap space. But instead of reporting it that way, fan accounts took this news and twisted it, making it seem like the Lakers had a lot of interest, when in fact, the opposite was true. Additionally, another writer only mentioned this player's name as a possible option, not as a confirmed target. He explained that the current talk of the first young athlete could be part of a strategy. Perhaps the Lakers want to hide the real plan while showing a different direction to the public. It's possible, but there's no guarantee. Again, this isn't a confirmed report. It's just a rumor that has spread and become news due to the amount of talk about it. There are additional details from other reliable writers, but they're not directly about the Lakers. All they're saying is that if another team wants to talk about another player from the same team, they're probably open to negotiations, including the player we're talking about. But they'd rather sell other pieces first before even thinking about letting him go. So right now, there's really no strong connection between the team and this player. There's no real news that says he's the real target. But, and this is a big but, if we look at his game, he really fits the style of the team. He's played with one of the best players in the world. They even made it to the finals. And there he showed how flexible he is as a forward. If they want to replicate the success of that old team, he might be a piece they can So here's the question. Can they take him? Should they try? Let's take a look at his game. 27 years old, almost 15 points, 7 rebounds, and a defensive contributor every game. He's a great inside hitter, even though his three-point percentage has dipped a bit this past season. But if we look back at his games when they reached the finals, that's where he showed his true quality. Almost 13 points, 7 rebounds, and a solid percentage on both field goals and three-point shooting. Add to that his defensive prowess, quick, switchable, tactical, and has a motor that never runs out. If we just look at the game, yes, he would be a good addition. But the big challenge here is not fit, it's price. Because right now, let's look at the team's real situation. They don't have a first-round pick to offer. They only have 1 first-round pick swap left, along with 3 second-round picks. As for the contracts, most of them aren't very attractive to other teams. There are a few neutral contracts. It steers a player with some potential, but still not enough to be a major piece in any big trade. That if we look deeper, yes, they can make the trade legal on paper. That is, they can match the numbers to the salary cap. But the real question is their offer quality enough to convince the other team to give up one of their proven players? This is where the big challenge comes in. Unlike other players who are viewed as projects or upside bets, this player is known for exactly what he is. He's consistent, a contributor to wins, and has shown that he can perform at the highest level of competition. As such, he won't be sold cheaply. The team that acquires him will likely need to swap their last first-round pick, along with some of their second-round picks, and maybe 1 or 2 players that can be used to match the size of the contract. Now, if we compare this to the offer for the first young athlete in question, who might just require a similar level of compensation, but with the added advantage of age and potential, it's a really big decision. Who would you choose? The young player with a high ceiling but not yet guaranteed to be worth it, or the older player who you know exactly what you're getting? And here comes the biggest question of all, because if the team is truly interested in a big wing who can defend multiple positions, there's a player who would be perfect for it. The problem, according to reports, is that the asking price for him is sky high, as big as a trade package the team once made to acquire one of their superstars. And since they've exhausted the assets needed to do so, it's almost impossible for them to repeat the same kind of offer. So no matter how big their dreams are for that player, it's probably not going to happen. If all of this is true, the real question the team will face is not between the young athlete and the dream tar, but between the young athlete and this player we're talking about. And here, I have a personal opinion. Before we continue, if this type of story, full of suspense, facing tough decisions, and having a big impact on the future of a team, resonates with you as a fan, share it now. Maybe you have a friend who also wants to know the truth behind these Twitter rumors. Now, back to the decision. If I were you, I'd go with the option where you know what you're getting. Yes, the younger one is, the more potential he has, and he can still grow with the team. But the truth is, he's still not earning his contract right now. It's still a bet on the future. Whereas with a player with a proven track record, you know what he's worth right now. You're not taking any chances. You're seeing the results. But that doesn't mean it's wrong to still believe in a young player. Because in the game of basketball, sometimes the potential that hasn't been fully realized is the most important thing, especially if you have enough time to wait for it to blossom. So, no matter how clear my opinion is, I know there's still a lot of room for debate here. Ultimately, the truth is, none of us have any control over this. It all depends on management decisions, negotiations behind closed doors, and opportunities that we as mere observers cannot see. All we can do is observe, analyze, and hope that in the end, the team we support will get the piece they need to grow and eventually return to the top. So to you, my fellow Laker fans, what do you think? Will you support them if they choose the safer and proven option? Or will you stay true to the dream of acquiring the young athlete with the highest potential? Share your opinion and tell me who you really want to see wearing their jersey next season. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the hottest news and rumors in the league. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.